What I am about to share with you on today's episode is guaranteed to make this man fall even more madly and deeply in love with you over a period of time, as opposed to feeling more distant to you over a period of time. It's also going to make him feel even more attracted to you over a period of time. This man is only genuinely going to have eyes for you. So only carry on watching this episode if you are genuinely ready to make these changes and keep the attention of your high value man. If you are, then stick around and make sure you're locked in for the whole episode, because this one is a transformational one and it's all coming up right now. Hi, welcome back to the Vibration Vault. My name is Alia Zaray. I help women all over the world navigate their love life in a more feminine way. So if that sounds like something that you want to do, make sure to subscribe to stick around. Okay, let's begin. I mean this in the kindest, most loving way, but men by default are draining. They will drain your time, they will drain your beauty, they will drain your youth, and they will drain your resources, all whilst being in your prime. Even the best man will try to get you for less. Every man wants his dream girl, but he wants her for less than what he knows she deserves. You see, men want to feel like they've got a really good bargain, like they've just closed a really good deal. They do this subconsciously, even if it's not their genuine intention to. But if you're watching this, you already know that even the best men are high risk, and they're a lot of work and a lot of energy. Getting into a relationship or getting into a marriage with a man is naturally going to bring you more labor, whether that be physically, energetically, spiritually, emotionally. And labor doesn't just mean the physical labor of cooking a meal or doing some laundry. That's not even the most exhausting form. It's actually energetically and spiritually that is the most draining form. And the reason this often goes unacknowledged by even the best men is because you do this so effortlessly. It's a silent investment, and a lot of the time it goes unacknowledged by you. You don't realize how much you are already doing for him by just existing. Okay, let me give you an example. So the silent labor is all around you. Do you remember that TikTok trend that went around, and it was women posting their partners when they first met their partners and then comparing it to when they had been with their partners for 2 or 3 years down the line? If you look at that man at the start when she first met him, that man looked disheveled. He looked homeless. Like, who is that? I don't know. And then 2 or 3 years later down the line, he had elevated in every single sense. His hairline miraculously grown back. His clothes looked amazing. He dressed well, he looked good, he spoke better. I think he was even standing a few inches taller than he once was. And 9 times out of 10, this goes way beyond what meets the human eye. That man that you can visibly see has grown up, has also energetically shifted, because now he shows up as a different type of person energetically. Now he's the type of person who looks good. Now he's the type of man who dresses well. Now he's the type of man who gets respect from other men. Now he's the type of man who is attracting opportunities. He is the type of man who is making a lot more money than he once was once upon a time. His business has elevated. Overall, his status as a man has elevated. The problem is that labor like that's being executed by you so effortlessly is done a lot of the time in exchange for nothing. You actually don't see how much you're putting into this relationship. If you can't see or recognize how much you're really putting into this relationship, then how is he ever going to see it? How is he ever going to appreciate it if it goes completely unacknowledged by you? And a lot of the time it goes unacknowledged until it's too late, until you already feel depleted, until you feel like a shell of the person that you used to be. And that's when you blame him. He's the one who's robbed you of your best years. He's the one who's drained your energy. He's the one that's ungrateful. But really, all this time, it went unrecognized by you. You never communicated that you were putting so much work into this. You never let him let you reap the rewards of all of your hard work, of how you've helped him grow and elevate. You need to remember that women are connected to source. You give him a reason. You give him a vision. You give him a purpose. You have to let him pour back into you without feeling guilty. More than anything, you have to give him a role to play in your life. Let me give you another example. Think about all of the beautiful designer brands. So think about Hermes, think about Dior, think about Chanel. All of these brands were made for women. Yes, but they were also made for men to buy to then impress women. So you might think that this gift, this beautiful gift he has bought you, is for your sole benefit, when really, in fact, this gift he is gifting you is actually for his benefit. He's the one who feels like the man when he sees your face light up, when he sees you so happy and joyful and grateful. He's the one that's benefiting, seeing you melt more into your feminine energy of receiving. But don't get it twisted. Men will always try to get you for less, even if they do this subconsciously and it isn't their genuine intention to. If he doesn't have to buy you the bag and he knows he can get away with it, you best believe he's not buying you the bag. It's up to you to hold him accountable and never lower your standards to accommodate him. A good woman in her feminine energy will never let her man slip. And that isn't for selfish reasons. That's because she has his best interest at heart. Think about it. When he's with you and you're his dream girl, obviously, from time to time, you might let him slip. You find yourself making excuses for him. You do this because you love him and you don't want to add to his stress load. Although that sounds really sweet and kind and understanding and loving, you're not helping him to level up as a man. Let's be real. You are a goddess level type of woman. If he gets used to not having to show up for you for Valentine's Day because, well, you know, it's just another day. Or you let him skip a birthday because he's super stressed at work at the minute. I know he has other financial commitments. Sound familiar? Well, when you do this, you are warping his perception on what it takes to actually be with a high value woman like yourself. It's warping his perception on what he actually needs to be doing in order to maintain a high value woman like yourself. And that's when, no matter how much internal work you have done to refine your language, knowledge, education, looks, humor, conversational skills, he will start to see you as less than, and he will start to treat you as less than. So keep your standards high. Go for the nice luxury bags. Get yourself a beautiful present from him. Women get trapped in this cycle of feeling like that's very selfish, especially if they're in a growth phase with their partner. But what you need to understand is the more he is investing into you, the more it is affirming to the universe and to God exactly who he is, which means that's going to have a direct link on how much money he is going to make. That means his income is going to increase. His business is going to increase because the universe or God can only give you what you are in vibration of. When he does this, it makes him constantly work for you. It's going to constantly elevate him. And in the process, he's going to feel more stimulated by you. He's going to feel more attracted to you because he's falling in love with the man that he's becoming in the process of falling in love with you. Like I mentioned before, even the best man will try to get you for less, and even the best men do slip up from time to time. But how do you deal with that? So let me give you another example. Let's say he does an amazing job showing up for you on your birthday, and he does an amazing job showing up for you on Christmas, but then Valentine's Day rolls around and he doesn't really do too much for you. He doesn't organize a dinner. He doesn't organize a gift. He doesn't have anything booked or planned. So the evening rolls around and you are driving around in the car with him looking for a restaurant to eat dinner at. But obviously, like I said, he's not made a reservation and everything's fully booked. You could either react by being overly accommodating. You could stay silent. You could pretend to be happy when really you're dying on the inside. But when you do that, it's not going to trigger any change. Instead, it's going to set this new standard of what he can actually get away with. That's not going to help your relationship. It's not going to help him, and it's not going to help you. Or even worse, you could let your rage take over, and you could say, you know what it is? This is the worst Valentine's Day ever. Why are you so unorganized? Why can't you get anything right? Why do you not want to show up for me? You obviously don't care about me. You obviously don't love me. But when you talk to a man like this, it's even more damaging, because now what you're doing is reprogramming his subconscious to believe that he is all of these things, that he doesn't love you, he is unorganized, he doesn't show up for you, he can't do anything right. And the more he hears that, because your subconscious doesn't have eyes and it only learns through what it hears, so his subconscious is hearing these things, and that's an affirmation to him. So now that's going to translate in his everyday behavior with you. So you're going to find more areas where he does start to not show up for you, where he is a bit more unorganized, where he just can't seem to do anything right, and it's because you are programming him to believe this to be true about himself. So if affirming who someone is to them is so powerful and it can shape someone's whole identity and how they show up for you, I want you to take a moment now and just think about everything you've just learned. What would a woman like you do in her feminine energy? What would she say right now to trigger change but not cause conflict and not disrespect your partner either? I'm going to give you a moment to pause this episode right now and really think about it. So you would say, whilst you're in the car driving around looking for this restaurant, feeling really frustrated, baby, do you remember how you showed up for me on my birthday? Do you remember when you booked that beautiful dinner and you took us on that trip and you bought me those beautiful presents? When you did that, I felt incredible. I felt like you really thought about me. I felt like really loved when you did that for me. And do you remember Christmas? Do you remember how you showed up and you bought all of those gifts for my family and you made me feel so safe and so loved and so spoiled? I genuinely felt like a princess that day. That's the standard, babe. This isn't the standard. This isn't who you really are. He will probably respond with something like, okay, well, can't you just cut me some slack? Like, I know I messed up here, but I showed up for you for those other occasions, didn't I? Can't you just give me a break? In which you would respond, baby, I hold you to high standards because I know firsthand what you are capable of. I know the type of man that you are. I know the type of man that you want to be in this relationship. You're very organized. You always show up for me. You do love me. You know you're better than this. Now, the more that you speak to him like this, it's going to affirm to his subconscious that he is very organized. He does show up. He does love you. He is more than capable. And now he's going to want to start to show up as that version for you. And instead of feeling like he's being attacked when you're shouting at him and crying and calling him all of these names, he's actually going to feel really inspired by you. He's going to start to feel a lot more capable. And 9 times out of 10 in this situation, he's going to do a complete do-over of the whole evening on another day, buying you gifts, booking the dinner, spoiling you and treating you like a princess just out of respect for the way that you have dealt with him. Men want to feel respected. He's going to feel inspired by you. Like, hold on a minute, this woman sees me in such high regards. She is the woman I spend the most time with. Like, I must be that person. And now it's going to make him want to show up for you in a larger capacity and never ever make this mistake again. Think about it. A man who's a high value man has a growth mindset. So he has to feel like his life is improving, like he is elevating whilst he's with you. Without that, no matter how beautiful you are, you will just simply never be his dream girl. A dream girl allows a man to play a role in her life, and you're not going to let him slip below a certain standard and then go off and cry about it alone with your friends or with your mum and never actually say something to his face because you don't want to upset him or you don't want to hurt him. And you know what? He's going to feel that energy from you, like, oh, I got a very cheap deal with her. She's very easy. I can get away with anything. And I promise you, that's not going to surge his attraction towards you. His attraction towards you is going to plummet because now you are treating him like he is the prize, because you are being subservient to him. And what you're doing is you're bending to his will, even if that ends up hurting you in the process. That's not going to propel him in his career. That's not going to make him a status symbol amongst other men. But what is going to do all of those things for him and for you is being the type of woman that holds him to a higher standard, that believes he is capable, that trusts him to deliver on his promises and not cut him some slack anywhere. Contrary to popular belief, men are more capable than you think. When you do this, he will genuinely only have eyes for you. He's going to be stimulated by you. He's going to be inspired by you. He's going to cherish you. He's going to have the utmost respect for you. That's true feminine energy. It's about knowing that there's more available for you, not fearing and not doubting in the abundance that life has to offer, not doubting in your decision of your partner, knowing he's capable, believing he's capable, and then allowing him a chance to deliver. So that is a wrap for today's episode. If you have any more questions or requests for other videos, please make sure to leave me a comment. I love reading all of your comments. I have also just released some spaces for my 1 month transformational complete rebrand coaching program. This is a one-on-one intensive course over the period of a month. You and I will work together and we will completely reprogram your language so it's more feminine. We will do a complete revamp and rebrand on how you are introducing yourself, how you are carrying yourself, your voice tonality, all of that good stuff. The link is in the description down below with more details on my Stan store, so please make sure to check it out. I can't wait to meet even more of you beautiful women. Thank you so much for watching. I love you. Bye.